Welcome, friend, to our program Celebration of Success. And today we have a very senior person with us, Mr. Dinesh Arya, whom I know from many years and always appreciate his professionalism and energy. So, Dinesh ji, आपका हमारे प्रोग्राम में बहुत बहुत स्वागत है. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Dinesh ji, before we start with your favorite subject, we would like to know about something about you, your background.
I am a son of a Vedic scholar and a postgraduate home science teacher. So, from the beginning of my life, there was a purpose behind everything that my parents taught me. And based on that, I think I've lived a life which is meaningful, which is helpful to others, and also a life full of curiosity, wanting to study more. This took me to IIT 50 years ago, rather 55 years ago, from where I passed out in 1972. After passing out from 1972, I joined capital goods companies, first large and then a startup in new technologies of machine tools. This helped me to get in touch with all the big industry leaders like Brijmohan Munjal, like Mr. Tata, like Mr. Nayak of Larsen Toubro, because capital goods decisions were largely taken at the managing director or chairman level. Through this process of 28 years, I understood what makes leaders succeed and what are some of the competencies or soft skills required. Subsequently, I entered the field of consultancy in helping companies improve their efficiencies. And then from the last 16 years, I'm a headhunter, so to say, helping companies acquire senior talent. In the last 8 years, I have co-founded a company where we help companies like Pidilite, like Larsen Toubro, etc., acquire senior talent. This is a summary of my career so far.
Very good, sir. You have chosen a very good subject. Can a tiger can a leopard change his spots? So I was wondering what is this, and first how it came to your domain or mind, and then we can talk about this subject.
So whenever we assessed candidates, we came across certain behaviors. And we firmly believe, based on our experience, that a large number of these behaviors are shaped during our childhood and our upbringing. It is like a concept of seed and soil. We are born as a seed and we grow up in a soil of our environment. This environment could be parents, uncles, aunts, teachers, early schoolmates, so on and so forth. And it shapes our basic, or what I call the inherent behavior. For example, we are kind-hearted, we are honest, and so on and so forth. These behaviors are very innate. And then as we grow up, we acquire a lot of behaviors through our experience. Now, the challenge in assessment is, what are the kind of behaviors that make people succeed? So different companies have got different requirements of behaviors to make them succeed in their companies. For example, some company wants a person to be detail-oriented. Some companies want the person to be hands-on, and so on and so forth. So a study of human behaviors became important for us to succeed. And then came, if a person has a given behavior and what is required by the company, can this behavioral shift happen from behavior A to behavior B? And therefore the subject, can a leopard change its spots? Which means, can we really change our behavior? This is how the subject came about.
Very good. So can we talk about the subject now? Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, though our behaviors are formed in childhood and get a deeper shape as we grow up, essentially, all behaviors are acquired.
Okay.
Now, question is, what is acquired? Can it be unlearned? Or can it be changed? So if in principle, something that can be acquired can also be given up.
Correct.
In principle. So the question is, how do we do it? So I'm now going to discuss with you a very simple principle of how this can be done. While some basic behaviors, very basic behaviors, like being kind, as I said, being kind-hearted, being generous, being respectful to people, may be very difficult to change, but nothing is impossible in life. You know? So I have formed an acronym for this. The acronym is AWPP. A means awareness. So the starting point of a leopard changing its spot is to know that you have spots, is to know that there is a particular kind of behavior which needs to be changed for whatever be the reason. The reason could be as simple as this. Your wife and you, or your colleague and you don't get along, or your boss and you don't get along because you get angry. Okay? It could be as simple as that. Now, can I manage my anger? Is the subject. So, the theory is this: if I become aware that this behavior is an impediment in my life, and I become truly aware of it, that this is the behavior that is causing the problem, that is the starting point. The second is the will to change it. W stands for will. When I say will to change, means it is a kind of will कि ये करना ही है मुझे, और मैंने ठान लिया कि this behavior needs to be changed. Once that happens, then there is a good chance that you can change it. But like everything else in life, it is followed by P and P. What is P and P? Practice and perseverance. Unless you practice that changed behavior and you persevere with it over a long period of time, that change does not happen, or that change will be temporary and you will revert back like a computer to its default settings.
Okay.
So there are certain behaviors very difficult to change, as I said, like being kind. Suddenly, instead of being kind, you cannot be unkind because you are brought up in an environment where your parents and your mentors taught you, or you learned from them to be kind. You imbibed those basic traits. But aside from the basic traits, the kind of traits that are required in a professional environment, those can definitely be changed, as I said, through a simple process of AWPP, which is awareness, your own will to change, practice, and perseverance. So there is no substitute for practice, as they say. And this is very similar to how a habit is created. A habit is created by practicing that habit multiple number of times. The habit, like what you are taught in childhood, to brush your teeth. So you keep brushing your teeth till one day it becomes a part and parcel of you. Similarly, a behavior becomes a part and parcel of you when you practice that behavior. Now, the next question is, are there tools available to find out whether you have a particular kind of behavior pattern? In today's world, where you have neuro-linguistic programming, you have landmark forum, so on and so forth, they work on the possibility of rewiring your brain or rewiring your thought processes. But again, as I said, they remain temporary till you practice and continue to practice over a period of time. Then there are other assessment tools. Like life orientation tool is a very interesting tool, where how is your overall behavior can be assessed through a 30-minute test. And we have used this tool with various of our candidates and leaders to help them understand what is known as the blind spots. So there's another interesting aspect about our behavior, and this aspect is called blind spots. Ajay, blind spots, as you know, is what you don't know, what you do not know.
Correct.
So that is something that the LIFO test or the LIFO survey test is able to bring out, and you yourself, when you read that test, you become aware that these are my blind spots. And it also gives you a tool on how to work on it. But if you don't practice and if you do not persevere with it over a period of time, you're likely to get back. Okay. One other way by which people change is the survival instinct. For example, if a boss tells you, if you do not do this, I'll throw you out or you'll be out of the company. Now, if you cannot find another job, maybe you will change. So essentially, to summarize, I would say, yes, a leopard can change its spots. If you do not practice, then you will be only covering the spots with powder for a shorter period of time. But if you practice and if you persevere, you can surely change your behaviors for the better.
Sir, I would like to ask you from this AWPP, which is most challenging?
I think W.
W.
Because if the willpower is not there or the will to change is not there, nothing on this earth will make you practice and persevere. Awareness is a very simplistic thing. You can become intellectually aware. यार मेरे को तो गुस्सा आता है. I get angry.
मैं ऐसा ही हूँ.
हाँ, मैं ऐसा ही हूँ. Let people accept me as I am, and so on and so forth. But if you will, and the will is something very internal to you, but somebody can motivate it. Somebody else, a mentor, a wife, a child, or a teacher, can provoke you or can guide you to get into that will framework. नहीं, मुझे करना ही पड़ेगा. So once ये करना ही पड़ेगा attitude आ जाए, which is the will, then practice and perseverance follow. Correct. So the most challenging out of that is W.
So, sir, I have been in transforming business and people, and I have experienced what you say many a time. कभी कभी तो अवेयरनेस नहीं होता है, अवेयरनेस हुआ तो एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं होता है. और फिर वो बोलता है.
So maybe I should say AAWPP. Awareness, acceptance, will, perseverance and practice.
Yes.
वो डबल ए कर सकते हैं.
डबल ए WPP अच्छा हो गया एक्रोनिम. एंड विल भी मैंने देखा है, विल भी बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है, और विल अलग अलग मात्रा में भी होता है. कभी छोटा होता है तो खत्म हो जाता है, कभी बड़ा होता है तो हो जाता है. एंड प्रैक्टिस के लिए सॉरी हाँ बोलिए.
गो अहेड. प्रैक्टिस के लिए
कोई स्ट्रक्चर चाहिए. तो जैसे कोई मेंटर है, कोच है, रेगुलर कॉल्स है, रेगुलर आपका रिव्यू हो रहा है, आप किसी से बात कर रहे हैं, आपको रोज सुबह इतने बजे ये टाइम टेबल करना है, तो फिर हो जाता है. तो वो हमने लैंडमार्क में भी सीखा और हम भी बहुत जगह करते हैं.
So you are absolutely right. I would say that you definitely, if it is a transformative change, you definitely need a guide, a helping hand, a coach, a mentor, call that person what you may, to help you through this process, because you need at least 6 months of practice, if not more. And the ability of the human mind to procrastinate, to delay, to laze, I think is a fairly default mechanism of the human mind. So yes, I agree that that is a very strong need of the hour for anybody who wants to transform.
So I can say Leopard may not change the spot, cannot change the spot, but a human being can.
Yeah, but this is a kahavat. So
kahavat hai, correct.
But kahavat ye hai, And it really it is an expression to say that human beings generally cannot change their spots.
Yes.
But with what we have seen over the transformation of people, what we have seen, even I would say organization behavior changes.
Correct.
So it's because an organization is a collection of human beings. So if the group of leaders within that organization change, then collectively the organization can change.
Yes.
So which is more difficult because you are looking at a multi-dimensional human framework.
And the need for changing the behavior maybe organization, but not be personal. So it will be difficult for organization to pay.
Yeah. So either way, uh, people change. Of course, people change because there's a need. The need, as I said, comes from awareness, followed by acceptance, followed by the strong willpower to change, and then followed by practice and perseverance. In all this, I think mentors and coaching and teaching is required. Today, I am aware of the fact that even the senior most industrial leaders of our country, some of them have coaches.
Yes.
For example, some of them have Ramcharan as his coach, as their coach. Somebody has somebody else. A couple of them have me also.
I am also in the same work, but different. I am also in
Good
the
to know.
same work. So
Good to know that.
या तो सर मेरा अभी ये तो सब्जेक्ट बहुत अच्छा था और अच्छा लगा. आई वुड आस्क टू टेक एडवांटेज ऑफ योर एक्सपीरियंस कि कैरियर के लिए किसी को भी अपना कैरियर अच्छा बनाना है तो उसको क्या क्या करना चाहिए, बेसिक्स.
See, to create a meaningful career or improve your career, you have to follow the Ikigai.
Okay.
And I would suggest that I won't go deep into what is Ikigai. Okay, but basically you should work in an area of your interest, of your passion. You should do something that is meaningful to yourself. Therefore, you should add value to the society, and so on and so forth. So the intersection of your personal need with the needs of the society, driven through your passion, and also get paid for it, of course.
Okay.
And creating value both ways, for yourself and for others, is the way to grow your career. It cannot be one-sided, that you are growing and nobody else is growing along with you.
Yes.
So the basic concept is give to take.
Give to take.
Yeah.
Sir,
that is inbuilt in the Ikigai itself.
Yeah. So, sir, I want to also know, after Corona, what is the company looking for in the candidates? कोरोना के बाद लोग कंपनियां क्या देखती हैं आदमी में कि इसमें ये होना चाहिए?
Okay.
Which are the
so I
quality?
think firstly I'll talk attitudinally क्या देखना चाहिए, and then some of the
Skills.
new domains that came into play with Corona. See, with Corona, it was like you got a hit. Okay. So the most important quality was resilience. Can you bounce back from uncertainty to certainty? Corona created a hit. Corona created an uncertainty. Corona created a new working environment from home. So in uncertainty and hit, the one thing that is required from a human being is resilience, and some people call it grit.
Grit, huh?
the determination to succeed, come what may. To be able to face failure and get up with even higher speed. Now, that was the attitudinal part. On the domain part, suddenly supply chain got disrupted all over the world. one changed from a physical way of working to a digital way of working, or a digital way of working. So the ability to unlearn past practices and shift to new practices, like as I said, to digital, it required learning, it required agility, and new age requirements of specialized kind of supply chain management, of using data science, using artificial intelligence, using digital technologies. They became more important. So actually, you'll be surprised, while the whole world was suffering, I don't feel good about it. We did very well, because new requirements in supply chain, data science, artificial intelligence, and so on so came up. And because we had the ability to learn new businesses, we did very well. So I'm speaking from personal experience on this subject.
Sir, thank you very much for coming and enlightening our audience. And it was a wonderful talk and very interesting subject. And we look forward to more such interaction with you in future. Sir, thank you so much.
Same to you, Ajay. I hope next time you need something very